Yeah.
Okay, 15 seconds.
Are you going to start it?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, I'm on?
Yeah.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Look what
5 seconds.
arrived in the studio. So we're coming on the radio. I just want to show Happy Valentine's Day. This is
Views
awesome.
and opinions on this program are not necessarily those of WSTU Digital 1450. The opinions expressed are those of the program hosts and guests. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time now for the Martin County Difference with your host, dancing realtor Julia Sansevere.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us tonight. Happy Valentine's Day. It's the Martin County Difference. I'm Julia Sansevere, your host. We're coming to you live from downtown Stuart, and look at these beautiful flowers. You can't see them on the radio, but on Facebook you can. My sweetheart, my husband Richard, gave me these this morning. I couldn't believe my eyes, and a beautiful card. I'll maybe read that on the air later. But thank you, honey. And I gave him a card and some sweet chocolate. So we love chocolate, don't we, in our house?
And we have Frank got chocolate too.
And we got Frank some chocolate.
Thank you
Happy
so much.
Valentine's
Yes.
Day.
Happy Valentine's Day
I can't
to
see
you
because
as
these
well.
wonderful flowers.
I know. Lucky thing it's radio, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
But everybody on the WSTUTV.com can see it, and on Facebook Live
Right.
can see it. They're beautiful roses and Astromeria and Snapdragon and beautiful Gerber daisies. Thank you. My
And it
favorite
makes the
flowers.
studio smell so
Doesn't
good.
it? It's
Yes.
like a little florist shop in here.
Yes.
So
And
thank
my car
you.
smelled real good bringing
The
them
car
over here.
smelled good bringing them over here. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. Unfortunately, a sad night. Just, heard on the radio coming here because I was busy all day and didn't have a chance to look at the news. But 17 families will be grieving in South Florida tonight. Their loved ones will not be returning home, and I'm so sorry. And, details are developing, and I know that everybody's tuned into the news to watch that, and it's just awful.
Thoughts and prayers, that's all you can offer. you know?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and it's not too far down the road from us, but thankfully it wasn't here, and we do have wonderful community here, but that's a wonderful community down there too,
Yeah.
in the Coral Springs area, and just in Broward County. My heart goes out, and we have a granddaughter who's going to school down there, so it's unnerving to say
Yeah,
the
of
least.
course. Yeah.
But the grief I feel for those families is palpable. I'm so sorry, and I wanted to talk about some fun things, and we will try to get to the fun of the evening, but
Yeah, I have to acknowledge that.
you do.
Yeah, I mean, it's top of mind. It's, it's happening right now.
Oh my God! And I couldn't believe it when I heard it. So
Yeah,
I'm so
yeah,
sorry.
I'm still
that
in
there-
shock myself.
Yeah, I know that's a community that's going to be in shock and trying to figure it out. We just don't know what goes on in the minds of these people that are sick. And you know what? If they didn't have a gun, they'd use a knife. If they didn't have that, they'd use a bomb. So, but still, it doesn't matter. In this day and age of social media, it's really immediate, and that's a crazy thing too.
Right.
We need to maybe unplug, but don't unplug for the show. We'd like to keep our audience for the show, and this is 1 hour of make-believe. The world's a wonderful, beautiful place, because it really is. There's more good than bad, and the Martin County Difference seeks to shine a light on those people and organizations, the 501c3s, and individuals who do something good in the community to help us make a better world for all of us. And there are plenty of those people, and tonight 2 of them are going to be here. Joan Rogers will be joining me. She is a fellow realtor. She is with Berkshire Hathaway. She's half of the horsepower team. I love that name, horsepower. So she does a lot of properties out in the horse country. And she's got a wonderful event that's become an annual event called Ranchin for a Cause. And then Melody Fortier, another realtor. Amazing how these realtors get out there and do stuff, Yeah. Melody's with Kai's, and she and John Hennessee and Butch Olsen Jr. are coming to do a recap of the Port Salerno Seafood Festival.
Great.
In the last half of the show. I think they've got some really good news to share. And because that's a 501c3, the commercial fishermen, and they do a lot of good with their money. But I want to say that I will be off the air in terms of live. I won't be in the studio next week because it's my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
On February 21st. Thank you. I'm going to be 39 again. Yay! I won't tell you how many times I've celebrated that, but anyway.
Maybe a couple of years.
Just a couple. Just a
Yeah.
couple. And so, but I wanted to say that the show will reprise. We will have a rebroadcast of our fun show last week with Ellen Snow and the Pink Passionistas, and also regarding the Wildlife Hospital, that event with Marker 23 Gallery.
Okay.
Right. And so you got that one queued up, right?
I hope so.
Yes, and yes, and the proprietor of that studio is a wonderful guest. He had a lot of people chiming in, so I hope that they'll chime back in and tune in. And that's I'll get his name in a minute. I can't think, but lots going on in my head with everything going on today. But don't forget the Martin County Fair is ongoing. I had to take a different route to get here because all the traffic.
That's right. Yes.
That goes for through this weekend. That's exciting.
Right.
And but the Olympics. That's what I wanted to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
How exciting that
Gold
is.
medals.
And something to be
Yes.
happy about. Gold medals. We got our 100th gold medal last night with Shaun White doing an incredible job in his snowboarding.
Yeah.
I really like that sport.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah,
It really
so
is.
for the Winter Olympics, we've
Yeah.
gotten 100 gold medals, and he's the one who got that. But a big shout out to Chloe Kim. She did so great in the same thing. And Red Gerard, and both of them are 17 years old. I know I'm just repeating what everybody knows already, but I'm still
Yeah,
astounded.
you can't say it enough. It's very cool stuff.
I mean, when I was
Yeah.
17, I was riding my bicycle to school and thinking I was doing that was great, you know?
Yeah.
What did I know?
I was excited just to make it to class on time.
Yeah, right. In my pajamas.
No.
Yeah. So, but I wanted to give a shout out to my sponsor tonight also, Gary Mulca. I just saw him today.
I saw him in traffic the other day.
Did you? With his sign on his
Yes,
car,
he's
on
got
his
a
truck.
really nice
white truck, yeah.
Nice white truck.
TC
And-
Palm Home Inspection.
Yes, and I said, wow, very cool.
Yeah.
So he's
Yeah.
out and about working all the time.
All the time.
Yes.
And I'm not the only realtor that employs him.
Yeah.
So if you need an inspection on your home, a 4-point roof inspection, a home inspection before
Right.
you list, during a process of buying, give Gary a call, and his number is 772-678-8133, and his website is tcpalmhomeinspections.com. So that's 772-678-8133 and tcpalmhomeinspections.com, and get your inspection.
Right.
Get
And
it
you know,
done.
I was waiting for your tagline to appear on his truck,
Oh yeah, that's right. And
which
then
is
when-
that it's not so scary.
scary when you use Inspector Gary. That's
Right.
right. Buying a home or selling a home isn't so scary when you use Inspector Gary, and that is
He
true.
needs to have that on his truck.
He really should.
Yes.
Yeah. You hear that, Gary? All right,
Yes.
Gary and Terry.
Yes.
Want to thank them for being really loyal sponsors. It's wonderful. And then again, just a shout out to my favorite, heartthrob, besides my husband. He just left the room. Is Starstruck.
Yes.
And last week I told everybody about Amazon.com has this great website now to shop. You can still get
Oh, and you can direct a
proceeds, a portion of the proceeds
Yes.
to your favorite charity.
Right,
And that's
right.
AmazonSmile.com, and 0.5% of the proceeds of your purchase, which is not an addition to you, it's part of what you already
Right,
pay for, and,
right.
and it's tax deductible that you're giving, and that goes straight to Starstruck. And that's great because they've got a $3 million capital campaign to build a new building for themselves for a permanent home.
So how cool is that?
And they're $2 million into it. So yay, just a little bit more. Everybody keep shopping. And
Shop
send
till
it-
you drop.
Shop till you drop. So
Yeah.
their shows that we saw recently were Annie
Yes.
and Cats
Yeah.
and The Music Man, which was so great.
Yeah, they
and
keep
had-
cranking out just
They
quality.
crank them out, yeah. And March
quality.
they're having a
Yeah.
spring review, so I'll be talking about that next week when I have more information about it. But you can go to their Facebook page, or you can go to their website at starstruckfl.org and donate there. And they're having a volunteer kind of symposium if you want to volunteer and you want to, be an usher or work behind the scenes. They're always happy to have help.
Stagehand.
Stagehand, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and I mean, that's a lot of fun too, being
Yeah.
stage manager and different
Right.
things. So give them a call. Jennifer and Peter Jones do a great job there, and Karen Leone is a songbird. She's so sweet, and she is their director of community outreach.
Yeah.
So give them a call or go on their website. And one more time for Jenny, my friend Jenny Infante in Cuba.
Yes.
This is the time of year that my husband swept me away to Cuba on the cruise.
It's been a whole year already.
A whole year.
Isn't
I
that
want to go
amazing?
back. It was so nice.
Oh.
Thank you, honey. It was really, really nice. A very beautiful event that we went there, and it was a cultural cruise, and I really found out how beautiful and talented the people are, and the
Yes.
culture, the food is, the music, everything was perfect. And of course, you know, why not? I mean,
Right.
they're putting on the dog for you, but I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dog is real.
Hey, speaking of the dog,
Yes.
all right, tomorrow marks the year of the dog.
Oh yeah, Chinese
It's
New
the
Year.
Chinese New Year.
Right, woof woof.
Right?
Yeah.
So putting on the dog
Putting on
for a
the
whole
dog.
year.
Yay!
Yeah.
And so for this coming year, my
Yeah.
hashtag is hashtag try kindness, because it doesn't cost you anything to smile at someone, give a compliment to a friend. Random act of kindness, I think that's coming this week. I saw Jane Pauley did that on the Sunday morning CBS show.
Oh, good.
Someday this week is the random act of kindness day. But also, this would be a very good act of kindness if you're a boater and you've got my sound of my voice coming into you. Our Congressman, Brian Mast, has managed to get the Coast Guard to extend that Coast Guard survey
Yes.
about the boating with the bridge at the Loxahatchee Bridge and also our St. Lucie Bridge
I'd like
till
to-
the 16th.
I'd like to see them expand the survey to all the folks that live in Martin County or
Right.
neighboring counties that have to navigate over railroad tracks.
Right,
And just navigating the roadways,
absolutely.
you know, is an issue. And I think needs to be discussed, because many of the deaths that have taken place in recent weeks are people that were on the railroad track when the train came whistling through.
Yeah,
So I think rightly so. The boaters are obviously adversely affected because of the way the bridge will be down. There's no navigation.
no.
And
It
so that-
stops it dead in its
Right,
tracks, literally,
right.
no pun intended.
But it should be a multi-pronged thing, is my thinking. It
Well,
should,
we're not
talk
against,
about that.
yeah, we're not against railroads, we're just against
Right.
having them come through our towns at 110 miles an hour and killing people, because they kill people about once a day. It's called Bright Line, but my name for it is Fright Line.
Yeah.
And the other name it used to have, because they changed it because we made fun of it, is All Aboard Florida, and it's really all about freight, AAF. So we know it's not all it's cracked up to be, and thank goodness for Brian Mast. He went to Congress and he testified that the use of money, that what they've tried to do has been deceptive to the public.
Right.
And so really this is a boondoggle. But I'm going to I think this is on my Facebook page, and I put it on my personal profile at Julia Clegg Sansevere. But it's www.mast.house.gov/train study.
Yes.
And you only get one chance to do it if you're
Right.
a voter, because I tried to go on and do it twice. You know, I got to admit, like, vote twice.
Oh, yeah.
It won't let you. It says, we know you
You're
took
not
the
in
survey.
Chicago, that's why.
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
But we don't want toxic and hazardous materials being carried through our towns.
Right.
But they're out of their minds. I mean, it is truly a death sentence for little towns along the way. And yes, they can have it in denser populations, but we don't have that here. And, you know, we have, I mentioned it the last time, I don't get the numbers straight, but we have a long bit of track between us and Orlando. But in that track, all along that way, there are over 365, I think, at-grade crossings.
Wow.
It's the most at-grade crossings for that amount of track anywhere in America. So, you know, up in the Northeast Corridor, they have bridges and tunnels and all that stuff, but
Right.
we don't have that.
Right.
So, and you got to go over the track, and the train's coming, and you don't have the time, you're not cognizant enough to be aware that something's going really, really fast, and it smacks you, and you're dead. So, they're out of their minds.
The recent train accident that the congressional retreat was
Mhm.
involved in caused the Congressman Mast to want to redouble his efforts to make
Right.
sure.
Right. I
Yes.
think when they got a little jolt, they realized, oh yeah,
Whoa.
trains,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
do derail.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to say I do help buyers and sellers. Moving on to the real estate portion of my show, because we're going to bring Joan in. That 2018 is going to be a very good year. That's the general consensus. But 3 signs it's time to move. Number 1, your family has outgrown the house.
Okay.
Ta-da.
Right.
Number 2, you'd rather relocate than redecorate and remodel. And number 3, you're spending more time in your car than at home. But I don't know if that applies to realtors because I know I live in my car.
Yes.
But I'm not ready to move.
No.
But if I can help you move, just give me a call at 772-919-1385. That's 919-1385. And I work exclusively with my buyers and sellers, and I provide 5-star service, just like the young lady walking in the studio right now. On cue. Hi, Joan.
Hi, Julia. Thank you.
Yes, welcome, and here's your microphone. Talk closely to it and put your headset on and hear us. And just look at this. Isn't this cute? I got this nice card from my little bird, 2 birds of a feather. It says, there are times I ruffle your feathers and times I squawk a bit too, but I'm always glad we share our nest. Because Valentine, owl, always love you. Owl.
Oh, that's so cute.
Isn't that cute? And he wrote the sweetest thing. He said, your Valentine forecast is misty, kissy, with scattered hugs and 100% chance of love.
Oh,
how charming.
Isn't that sweet? He
That's a-
worked on that all
that is a
day.
serious forecast.
That is a
Yeah.
serious forecast. Hi, John. So John and Melody are out in the green room. I see them. They just joined us. And now Joan is here, and thank you so much for coming in, Joan.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and you did this last year, but you've done this for quite a few years. Your event
This
It's-
is actually the 5th year of
Yes,
the event, but
this
it
is-
has moved locations.
moved locations and exploded.
Yes, it's on steroids.
Yes, it's on steroids. And so let's just tell them what the event is, Ranchin for a Cause.
Ranchin for a Cause, which is a benefit for my Relay for Life team, Hurricane Annie, for Relay for Life of Martin County.
Good. And how many people on your team?
Right now, there are 13 people on our team.
Wow. So when it's a relay, do you actually have a race where they...
Actually, no. The idea of Relay is that cancer never sleeps. So it's a 12-hour event where we spend the night overnight, and this year it'll be in Memorial Park in downtown Stuart on March 24th.
Okay.
And there is a member of your team on the track at all times. Because cancer doesn't sleep, we don't sleep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Aw.
So it's a really great way to remember those that are fighting and those that we've lost.
Yeah, and we got to keep fighting. And so the money raised goes to the greater good. It's Relay for Life,
Yes.
right? And that's out of, is that national?
Well, the American Cancer Society is national, and we're out of the Vero chapter.
Right, okay.
So, but all the money that we receive does go to the American Cancer Society.
That's amazing. And how did this start? What was the idea that brought this to you said, I got to do something?
The Ranchin for a Cause part?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my daughter had done Relay when she was in high school, and I was very proud of her. She actually was a student liaison for the Relay event literally 2 months after her uncle and my oldest brother passed away from cancer. And I watched her go through that. It took me a lot longer. It took me about 5 years to get to the point where I could really get involved and not be overly emotional. The tears still come, believe me. I miss them every day. But the idea, my team already had a lot of great ideas. And I'm like, well, I have 5 acres, and I can share the 5 acres. So the idea of like a kids' carnival came about. So we've done sort of a small scale for the past 4 years with an auction and a bounce house, and we've had some entertainment, and I have horses on my property, so that was always a score. But my business partner, Priscilla Baldwin, through Express Temporary Services, the actually franchise owner of that company owns the breeding barn for lots of world famous Clydesdales. So they offered the Clydesdales to us.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Ranchin for a Cause, because of Doug Sampson, whose property this is located, is going to be at this year.
Right. Want to give him a shout out. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Doug Sampson.
He
called you up.
I called
So
him
you called
and
him
asked.
up. Okay.
And he said yes, and from then on, we've been sort of like an incredible pair in getting things done. He's quite the motivator.
Right. And he's a survivor as well.
He's a survivor, pancreatic cancer survivor, and you don't
Wow.
hear that very
No.
often.
No.
How did that?
He's 5 years clear, and he was
Amazing.
treated
Seriously
at the
blessed,
University of
yeah.
Miami.
And he just got that word. You
Yes,
just
he
told
did.
me.
Last week.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
I know.
That is-
Congratulations,
that's great
Doug.
news.
And
It
thank
is.
you for stepping up and doing this, because Joan announced in our marketing meeting on Tuesday, she goes, this is just blown up, out of control. And it's really an amazing event because it's only a $5 entry.
Yeah, the $5, it's a $5 donation entry. Kids under 12, we will not expect a donation for. The different activities do come with a cost. The carriage ride with the world famous Clydesdales, and it is a carriage ride, a little bit different, not just standing there with them. The carriage holds 24 people.
They'll be pulling their,
Yeah,
24 people.
24 people. And it's $5, but that includes your photo, which will be downloaded directly to your phone, so you don't even have to wait for it.
I love the digital age.
Yeah, the digital age makes it fast. And we also have a car show, which we're doing on-site registration. It's a $25 donation to show your car. We've had a great deal of interest in it. This is our first annual car show. We're going to continue the car show along with the event.
And are they
moving
all
forward.
ages of cars? I mean,
All
you know,
different
years,
types of
makes and
cars.
models,
Mhm.
all different years.
Yeah, we have been to lots of car shows. We actually went down to West
Ah,
Palm on
to check 'em
Sunday,
out.
so
Okay.
you know, handing out our flyers
Oh,
and
good.
getting people excited about coming up here. So we expect a great car show, and we do have a trophy for first, and then we have first, second, and third runner-up ribbons. So.
Oh, gosh.
And you will be the judges, public. You get to fill out the
Oh.
ballot, so it'll be your favorite car. So that's how it should be a really fun.
And what time is this?
The event's from 11 to 4.
Okay, on February 17th, Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay. And the address?
It's 5551 Southwest Mistletoe Lane in Palm City Farms.
Okay.
And if you are heading out 714 west, you'll go south on Citrus Boulevard. Then you will make a right, because Woodham only goes right, and we'll have signs and balloons.
Oh, yeah, you can't miss it.
And make a right, and that'll bring you right into Mistletoe.
Awesome. And so not only the car show, but arts and crafts, the bounce house, that's fun.
Yes, kids will love it.
And a magician, and he's going to put on a show, or will he walking through the crowds, or?
Well, the magician is Colt Robertson and his buddy, his horse buddy.
Oh!
So he will be putting on a show. He's an illusionist. He's very, very talented. And he's also, when he's not Colt Robertson,
Yeah.
he's also Mark Updike.
Oh.
who's a,
Oh, that's his stage name.
yes.
Oh.
And he's he's a home inspector here in town.
Oh,
so he's,
okay.
He's stepping one up for us here.
Oh, I'll say.
Yeah.
Well, and then the carnival games, what kind of games are you going to have?
We have Plinko, we have a little, like a fishing game, we have cornhole, we have, trying to think, there are quite a few games.
Okay, well, and you how do you just walk up and do it? Do you get a ticket to play? You wait in line?
What we're gonna do is when you come in, you'll be able to purchase tickets. The tickets are actually $1 a piece,
Oh,
and then
okay.
there'll be tickets, a number of tickets for each thing. All of the kids' games are $1, just one ticket.
Uh-huh.
The fairy hair is a
Oh,
ticket a strand for a
fairy
maximum
hair.
of 5 strands, so that people aren't there forever. A small face paint will be $2, and a large will be, or 2 tickets. I'm talking dollars and it's tickets, and a large will be $5.
Oh.
We also have a watercolor characterist who's going to be there. He's a realtor's father. It's Alex Haig's father, Tony
Oh,
Haig.
right. I remember you talking about
Yeah.
that. Tell us about how that came about. That's such an interesting story.
Well, I went to an open house, and it was a drawing for it, and I saw some of
Yes.
his work he had there, and I was
Right.
like, well, would you consider? He jumped right in.
Right.
And he even said he'd be on the committee next year. So I just said it out loud, Tony Haig. So
Oh,
now you're
Tony
stuck.
Haig, yeah. Alex's dad. So
Yeah.
Alex was having, yes, a multiple listing open house, and Joan and I go to the marketing meeting every Tuesday, and we go on tour around Martin County and see these beautiful homes. That's the part I like.
Yes, absolutely. We learn about our job.
Yes, we preview properties every Tuesday. Well, just about almost every day of the week when we're showing property. But Alex stood up and said, and as a prize for coming, we'll have a drawing. For all the realtors who come, one person will win a drawing by his father, this great artist.
And he is a great artist, and
Yeah.
he's going to be there, and he's going to have different levels, so people will be able to decide if they do something very small.
Uh-huh.
And he says he can do multiple things at once. So he'll have things going. You'll be able to come back and pick them up before you leave.
How neat. Well, and of course he lives in Stuart. That's my little every week, we have something going on artsy. And then the auctions. What about the auctions? What kind of auctions? Because I love a good auction.
Yes, we have a great silent auction. We have a beautiful necklace that was donated, especially made for this event by Diamonds by Terry.
Ooh.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
And Diamonds by Terry is out on in Stewart on Dixie Highway, A1A, at Country Club Plaza.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we have Argento in downtown Stewart has donated a beautiful
Ooh,
piece of
Argento,
jewelry.
one of my favorite stores.
We have
Hint, hint.
yes. We have a beautiful bracelet, a pearl bracelet that was actually done by a local artist. We have quite a few local artists represented, including Mr. Whitaker. The Whitaker family has donated one of his paintings.
Of the Boat Works,
Mhm.
Whitakers.
Yeah.
And he's a painter?
He's
an
a
artist?
painter. Yes, he was. And we have one of his paintings from before he passed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And we have a magnificent fiberglass horse head that stands about 3 feet tall.
Oh.
We have a staycation on Hutchison Island that was also donated by our
Nice.
realtor, Stacy Hetherington.
Oh, Stacy,
Yeah.
yay, Stacy
So-
Hetherington.
And we have wonderful baskets from everything from candy and a stay-home movie to spa baskets to wine baskets to
Oh, yeah.
we have so much in the
Love
auction.
all that. So, and all this has been donated, right?
Most everything, well, it's all been donated, yes.
Right. And
Yep.
do you have any other particular sponsors, or is it just this is,
We do. We have quite a few sponsors, and I'm going to feel guilty if I leave anybody out.
well, you have a couple here.
So, well, those are actually the people from the very beginning
Okay.
that Canaan helped us with our printing and Express.
Okay.
Employment Professionals is who brought us the Clydesdales. But since that time, we've had lots of sponsored donors. We've actually already raised, prior to the event, a little over $15,000
Woohoo!
in sponsors, and that goes to the main relay event as well. They'll be recognized at both. So I don't want to start saying some names and miss a few.
I know
feel
how that
really
is.
bad.
I know.
So
You know
and
who
I
you
didn't-
are.
I didn't have you all know who you are.
How about a website? Do you have a website where you
we have
might be listed?
we have a Facebook page.
page.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It'll be
everything,
listed, yes.
everything will be listed there.
And just come
Okay.
out to the event, and we're going to have a page with everybody listed, and their banners are going to be all over.
There
so
you
just
go.
come out and see them for yourself.
Yes, and you'll have photos and post them on Facebook afterwards.
Absolutely, and we have a very special area for anyone who donates $250 or more. That's
Oh.
a simple donation, not buying anything, but a simple donation.
Right.
We have a VIP area that's catered by Moneros of Palm City.
Ooh, okay,
Yeah.
this is definitely ramping it up.
Outstanding
Yeah.
food.
Very. And you know, there are a couple of listeners on tonight. Colleen Dermody said she is so glad I'm doing this show. So, Colleen Sample, yes. Oh, Colleen, yeah. Another realtor. We know
Another fellow
Colleen.
realtor.
I was thinking it was Colleen in my office, but it's Colleen Sample. She's glad we're doing the show about this. So thank you, Colleen, for tuning in and listening and saying something. Because she said, I like your show. I'll listen to it. I'm like, I never know unless you say something. You got to say something. So thanks, Colleen.
Well,
And-
we appreciate you,
yeah.
Julia, very much.
Oh, yeah, no.
We do.
Well, this,
you definitely make a difference.
well, thank you. Well, that's, you're making a difference, you know, so we make a difference together.
We do.
And Beth Ann Algie said this sounds like an exciting, amazing event, exciting event. So yes, and come on out, Beth Ann. It'll be great. Everybody out there, you know, this is so great for the community. This is what Martin County is all about. I get a little lump in my throat. I really do, because we do have a special community here. And Joan was even giving props to 2 other realtors. She got a beautiful listing in Sewell's Point, and those 2 realtors helped her with information about it. This is who we are, and we're all about the customer. The
We
people
are.
are first, and we put deals together. We work together. We play in the sandbox well together.
We do. We
Yes.
have one of the greatest realtors, or the greatest realtors
Yeah.
association as far as I'm concerned.
And Joan was our president last year
I
at
was.
the Realtor Association.
Immediate past president. Way to
Immediate
go,
past-
H.B. Warren. this year.
Yeah, H.B. Warren, come on, bring it home. Let's see you do what Joan did.
Oh,
She
you're
did it
doing
in
a
heels
fabulous job.
backwards, like dancing. She'll be our next dancing realtor. I'm sure of it. I'm going to nominate her.
Yeah, well, that's a good idea.
Yeah, right? Yeah, help the babies. But Joan was president the same year I was president of Women's Council Realtors, and we, that was exciting for me. And I was like, yeah, bonding, you know? So that was fun. And so this is a great event, everybody. So tune in. Next week not next week, the 2 weeks from now I'll have a recap, and I'll talk to you because I'll be
Yep.
gone for my birthday next week.
Well, you have a very happy birthday, and you're going to Texas?
I am.
Well, you enjoy it.
Houston
Hope you have
town.
good weather.
I hope so too. I think I hear it's a little chilly there. You know, as much as it's warm there, it does get very chilly there.
I've been there. The only time I was there, it was very cold.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean pipes freeze and
Yes.
stuff. Yeah, when I was a kid, I remember that. Now it was exciting, you know, to have snow, but I was 4 years old. And I don't think it ever snowed after that. You know, it's like, oh well, at least we had it once. But yeah, it can be very cold there because it's damp. And I guess it's just a little farther north. I never actually looked at the latitude, but I think it's just a little bit more northern than we are in Stewart. So we love Stewart.
Yeah. I'll take our weather any day.
Yeah, so remember everybody, Ranchin for a cause. I know you want to say something?
I was just going to say, the weather is predicted to be perfect on Saturday, so there's no reason not to come out. There's nice breezes out in Plum City Farms, I promise.
Yes, there are, and it is beautiful horse country out there. So come see the Clydesdales. That's pretty cool. And get a ride in the Clydesdales wagon. And that's February 17th, this Saturday, 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. really great for the kids and the whole family with all kinds of stuff, the face painting, the fairy hair, and photos and arts and crafts, and the car show.
All right,
The
now,
men will like that.
For the uninitiated,
Yes.
people like myself,
Yes.
what is fairy hair?
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
you get little strands of hair painted to look like maybe a little fairy
Okay.
hair. It's a little
Okay.
sparkly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it stays in until the actual hair falls
Gross.
out of the
Wow.
goggle.
All right, so it's semi-permanent.
Yes,
Yeah.
semi-permanent.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going
And
to
very popular.
very popular. It's growing
Amongst
and growing and growing.
guys or girls?
Women mostly.
Women
Yeah.
of all ages.
Women,
Going
girls, and
from
women.
age 3 on, they're
Yeah.
doing the fairy hair.
Right, right.
Okay.
They are. They are. So unfortunately, I can't be there this year, but maybe next year because I'll be out of town. But have a very successful event.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming in tonight. Don't forget. Remember, it's just $5 a suggested donation for admission. And
And all proceeds benefit the American Cancer Society.
right. That's what's so awesome about this. It's completely 100%.
Yes, and if you have any questions about cancer, you can go to cancer.org, and there's also a 1-800 number that you can call 24/7, 365 days a year if you have questions. So
There
just
you go.
remember the American Cancer Society is always there for you.
Yeah, that's true. And thank you so much, Joan. I mean, this is lifting up the community in a way that just doesn't happen everywhere, you know? So thank you. You're a special person.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you so much because you come from the same heritage that I do. Our moms were the realtors in our family.
They were.
Well, your dad too.
My dad too, yeah.
But yeah, having that strong maternal, influence is great. So thank you.
Thank you. You
And
have
good
a
luck
happy
with
birthday.
everything. Oh, thank you.
Thank
And happy
you.
Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
So I think we'll have Joan will leave us for now,
Yes.
and
Little segue music.
segue music.
Yeah.
Thank you on the radio. We'll get John and Melody in here, and and thanks for tuning in, everybody. So definitely send your comments and questions if you have any. Good. Thanks, Alicia Hill. She's out there. Thank you, Alicia. And John Hennessee and Melody Fortier were the backbone of the Port Salerno Seafood Festival that we had a couple weeks ago. I can't believe it's already been a couple weeks. And you want to come sit over here? Is Butch here?
Butch is coming in.
Okay, good. We'll have a seat, or do you want him to sit here? But anyway,
They're trying to work out the seating arrangement.
work out the seating arrangement.
Come on.
Okay, well, we have 3 chairs. Sit wherever you like. Hello, Melody.
Hi,
Hi, Butch. Come
Hi.
on and sit down.
Happy
Hey,
Valentine's
good to
Day.
see you. Thank you. Look what the Cupid brought me. Isn't that nice?
Wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I'm excited because it's St. Valentine's Day, and
Very cool.
I got a little nice back rub this morning. I said, just rub my back. That's all I want for Valentine's Day.
Good job.
So he did. So you can put on your headset and then remember to talk directly closely
Okay.
into the microphone. Yep. We got a microphone for everybody tonight. We didn't go cheap. We got a mic for everybody. So thanks for coming back, and we want to have a recap and a wrap up of how everything went for the Port Salerno Seafood Festival. And remind everybody again, you're the president, aren't you, of the board for the Seafood Festival,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing that?
Oh, geez.
Here, his microphone. You make sure it's
I think about a decade.
about a decade. Wow, 10 years. That's a long time. And because your family is how many generations here?
3 generations.
That's amazing. And your dad was a firefighter,
Yes,
right? We love firefighters.
absolutely.
Yeah. And where did they come from to get started in the area? Or did they start down south and then move up this way?
So, yeah, my 3rd generation on my mother's side was right here.
Ah, in Stewart.
Yeah.
Okay, that is really amazing.
Which when you go back, it technically wasn't Martin County.
That's
You know, when you
right.
go back
Wasn't
further.
it Dade, or the whole
Palm
thing was
Beach.
Broward? It was Palm Beach, but before it was Palm Beach, it was Broward or
It was
something.
Dade Broward.
Dade and Broward, right?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I just did my ancestry report recently, and yes, it was Dade and Broward for my grandfather.
Yeah, which is crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
so because that meant there was nobody here.
Right.
It was just cows. And then we still have a lot of cows, and that's the other thing I discovered, which is interesting. I'm from Texas. It's a beef cattle state, and I didn't realize Florida was such a beef cattle state.
Yeah, it is more
I
than
know.
Texas.
I know. I'm
Yes.
like, what? That can't be.
Yeah.
I thought it was a
How
fish
cool
state.
is that?
I know. It was like trying to go to a
And
restaurant.
they have
Only
longer ones
only
here.
Stewart.
Is it plugged in or not? Is
No,
it
we're
working?
fine.
Oh, okay. All right, so anyway, and welcome John Hennessee and Melody Fortier, and everybody knows John, I think, I hope, I would think, from down at the Manatee Pocket. And
From Salerno.
From Port Salerno, that's right, and Melody.
Yes.
Melody's with Kai's. Also somebody that I work with, not on a daily basis, but as often as possible, because we have a good time together. But we were in Women's Council. We still are in Women's Council, Realtors Together.
And the Women's Club.
And the Women's Club of Stewart, which is a frequent guest here and will be again.
Yes.
Yeah, because we just did the Art is Everywhere tour.
Absolutely.
Right, that was great.
Great success.
Very big, I know, so that's 2 for 2 that you and John were involved in, because John and Melody helped arrange for the Twisted Craft and Creamery to have the reception following
Yes.
the tour, which was fabulous.
It's a great place.
A great place, and the food was good, and the wine was good, and the ice cream
And
was
the
good.
ice cream.
The ice cream was good. I know, I stuck with the glass of wine. But I saw people having their nice ice cream cones, and they were enjoying it. But what's really nice is that John, I think you donated a piece of art, didn't you? Or at least 2 pieces of art?
The last 2 years I have.
The last 2 years, right. So part of your ticket is you might win a piece of art,
Right.
which is amazing.
This
Yeah.
year was a Guy Harvey.
Yeah, that's right, the Guy Harvey.
But
And last year
Last
was a
year was
Salvador
Salvador
Dali.
Dali.
Salvador Dali.
and the year before that was a Salvador Dali. This is our 3rd annual.
Yeah, that's right, because so you've done it all the
We've done
time.
this 3 years.
I know,
Yes, we
yeah.
started it.
I know. And you were one of the head chairs, and
Yeah, initially the first year.
Yeah.
When we started it
Yeah.
and continued. So we've had 3 years, great success.
Yes.
Looking forward to a 4th.
and the money goes to young women in Martin County who are high school age, who are going on to an arts degree, visual arts, or any kind of thing like that. And that's what I want to talk about, that the 501c3 portion of what we all do, what we love, is giving our time and helping to give that money that's raised to somebody who deserves it, who couldn't afford to do whatever they need to do otherwise. So how did you do on the festival, and where do the proceeds go? Let's talk about that.
Biggest year yet.
Whee!
Our gate was up between 4% and 5%. Our food and beverage tickets were up 9% over last year, which last year was our biggest year until this year. So it was just outstanding.
Wow.
Great. So again, we give 25% of all the proceeds to nonprofits in the area,
Right.
which a lot of them volunteer for us. So those, obviously it takes us a while to put all the numbers together. So
Yes.
those checks will be written very soon. We have some great nonprofits, Rotaries, and I don't have the list memorized right now, but we have a lot of great nonprofits.
There's over a dozen. on
Over
the list.
12.
Oh,
yes.
okay, so the money really gets dispersed over a wide group.
Throughout the community.
Throughout the
Absolutely.
community,
Yes.
that's
And
fantastic.
last year, I think we gave away $19,000 or $20,000.
No, it was 24 and change. last year.
24?
Oh,
24 and change
wow.
last year.
So almost $25,000. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Not to mention how it helps the dock authority.
Yes.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk about, because I can never remember how to pronounce all of the words. It's the
Port Salerno Commercial Fishing Dock Authority, which
See,
I'm president and manager.
that. Say it slower.
Port Salerno Commercial Fishing Dock Authority.
There we go. Okay, you say it.
And
That's
Butch
better.
is president.
And Butch is president.
It's a mouthful.
It's a mouthful
Yeah.
and a tongue twister.
Yeah.
But just, Butch is president of the wonderful organization that's behind the Seafood Festival, which Melody pointed out is so fresh, because they go out and actually catch it, and then they come in and cook it. And it is our highlight, I think, of
Yes.
January of the season.
A true
And
seafood
one
festival.
of the things that makes this festival so great is just the fact that it is put on by the fishermen.
Yeah.
It's not your food truck type seafood festival. It's food prepared by the fishermen.
Absolutely, and it's delicious, and it's of all varieties, and because the first year was kind of heavy on the fried side, but we've gotten more sophisticated, our palates and also the culinary skills of the fishermen. So there's sushi, and there's oysters on the half shell, and clams, and all kinds of things, and I'm mad because that day I really wanted to come, and I got hooked up and sucked into working all day, and I said, I'm going to cut this off at 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock came. I'm going to cut this off at 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock. And then I called Melody. I'm like, Melody, I can't come. I was like, well, come and see if you can. I was like, I couldn't find a parking place. I was too far. The shuttle was great, but by the time I needed to get home, because we had plans to go out by 6 o'clock, And I was like, I tried to find this spot, and this policeman went, no, that's not happening. Because
As
my
we
tail
know,
was sticking out of
When
the
it comes
street.
to real estate,
Yeah.
our clients come first.
That's right. So, you know. So I went out and had fish that night for dinner.
There you go.
There you go. But I'm really grateful for you inviting me to come, and that was so nice of you to invite me to be in the VIP tent, and maybe next year. Maybe I'll just tell people, oh, I'm sorry, I'm already booked.
There you go.
There you go. But, and so how many people do you think came through the gate? You said a percentage more, but do you think that was 40,000 or 50,000?
We're thinking it's very close to 40. We're still putting numbers
Okay.
together.
All right.
And our scanners and everything else, but it was
Wow.
definitely close. We feel comfortable saying it was close to 40,000.
And this is a one-day event.
I know.
You know,
You know what would be interesting is like my high school reunions, we say who came the farthest and they get a prize. Do you have any idea where people come from, how far they come?
We have people from, just to give you an example, there's a group of gentlemen that I run into at least a couple of them every year. And what they do is their wives take a vacation together. And the husbands, they've been doing this for years, from Pensacola, they get a party bus together and they come down, and that's the men's vacation to come down to Port Salerno, stay at Pirates Cove for the Seafood Fest.
Oh,
We have
wow.
people from all over the state that come and
Yeah.
a lot of heads and beds for this event.
Isn't that, oh, and that brings the economy to Martin County. When you say heads and beds, that's true. Because they don't just stay for one day, they stay overnight, and they go to our restaurants, our lyric theater, our Starstruck theater, you know, our cultural arts. They go to the Elliott Museum,
the restaurants.
the restaurants like Twisted Craft and Creamery,
The
and
Twisted
Twisted Tuna.
Pirates Cove.
Pirates Cove.
And in years past, before the festival, I would get calls from Illinois, Ohio, people calling me in December and early January, say, what date's the Seafood Festival
Okay.
this year?
And we can tell them it's always the Sunday before the Super Bowl, right?
Saturday.
Or is it Saturday?
The
Saturday.
Saturday before the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl's on Sunday. It's the Saturday, the weekend before.
It's January 26, 2019.
Okay, thank you. We've already got the date. All right, January 26th. Look out for that.
Circle that on your calendar.
Circle that on your
Yeah.
calendar. Make a little fish.
There you go.
A little sign of the fish. And that is, and we've had really good weather. We've been really blessed.
We have
Yes.
been so blessed. The
Yeah.
weather was absolutely perfect.
It was. That's what really made me like, oh, I could be there and I'm doing this, but that's okay. Now, the Ferris wheel, how did that go?
Great.
Oh, yeah.
You had it full going all around and around and around. And did you guys have games there or in the booths, the vendors?
Well, we actually had a new ride this year.
Oh, tell me about that.
Oh, it was like a tilt-a-whirl. It's called the barrel ride. But, Doolin's Amusements always brings in the Ferris
Oh,
wheel and
okay.
several amusements, and we have the power jump ride for the kids. But it was very successful. They sold
To give you an
more than
example,
twice as many tickets this year.
Uh-huh.
The
Wow.
year previous, we sold 17,000 tickets.
Wow.
This year, we sold 32,000 tickets.
Goodness
in that
gracious.
same area.
That is amazing. That's more than double, isn't it?
So,
16 and 16
it's
is
very,
32.
it's very close. Not quite, but close.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
So,
Wow.
Very successful.
Well, where do we go from here? I mean, like, that's amazing. So you just keep doing it, right?
Yep.
And keep spreading the love with the money, because love is money. And you're running for one of our commissioner spots.
Yes,
Let's talk about that.
running for County Commission District 4. You can come see us out at the fair. We have a lot of volunteers, a booth, and
Oh, good, you're at the county
Yes,
fair.
yes,
And that's through this
absolutely.
weekend.
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And that's another thing. I was going to help you at your booth at the Seafood Festival, but of course I couldn't get there.
Okay.
So maybe you can come out to the fair.
Well, I would, but I'm going to be in Texas celebrating my birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Excellent.
It's Wednesday, a week from tonight. So that's why I'm going to be gone for this coming week, and we're going to have a repeat show of last week's show with the Pink Fashionistas and Marker 23 Gallery.
Oh, great.
Yeah, because that's the event coming up in March.
We love Marker 23 now.
Yes, and the young man, he's so.
Cameron Schmidt
Thank you. I was like, I
and
couldn't remember.
Jeff Bush. Cameron and Jeff are partners.
Okay, right.
And they're doing an amazing job. We're very happy.
Yeah, he's got so much energy, and what a handsome family he has. Beautiful family.
He does indeed.
Oh my gosh. So that's a really exciting event coming up at that point over there in the Port Salerno Art, Fish, what's it
Fish
called?
House Arts Center.
That's another tongue twister. Fish.
Market 23 Gallery.
Yeah. And
And
it's Marker
Tattoo
23. Why? Because that's,
Marker
I like the name.
Marker 23 is the marker that's in the pocket right outside of the fish.
Of the fish
That's Olsen.
Okay. Well, I knew it
The
had something
waterway
with
marker.
nautical, but I couldn't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah,
So
very appropriate for.
very appropriate, absolutely. And so what
For
is
navigation.
for navigation?
Yes.
Mhm.
There you go. Thank you. So don't run aground. What are you going to do as commissioner? What's your platform?
I think we need to bring some more transparency back to our local government.
Okay.
We need to have very responsible spending. I absolutely do not want to see any more taxes. I do not want, I want people to keep their money. I don't want any more money given to the government.
I like that idea.
I will strongly support people's personal property rights. The waterways, cleaning up the river and stopping these discharges. That is probably the number one thing on my platform.
Bless your heart.
I sit on
Yeah.
multiple environmental advisory boards for the government, DEP,
Okay.
including Martin County. I'm very well versed in these issues,
Mhm.
and we need to really work harder on this.
Yeah, it starts at a local level, and there are
Absolutely.
things we can do as citizens to make our waters better, but it really also is state and federal. And one of the things that I've heard is, never put your grass clippings in the water, because that's bad for the fish, and it's bad, and it's got the phosphorus and pesticides on the grass. If you use those on your grass, you should use more organic things. But that goes into the water, and it's bad for the water, bad for the fish, and so that's one thing we can do, and start using more organic things. But also, if people don't know, the discharges from the Lake Okeechobee are, flooding us on the east and west and dehydrating the Everglades. It was, the natural process is to flow through the Everglades at a very, very slow rate, and it gets clean. It's fresh water, but it's not clean water, and the grasses clean it on its way down to the Florida Bay, so it doesn't destroy the oyster beds on it. But when they dump all that water to the east and west, the salinity of our inlet and all of that changes, and it kills the fish. It kills the oyster beds, and we've had some bad summers here. 2013 was horrible, and then just last year, was it 2017 or was it 2016?
2016.
2016. So 3 years apart, and a lot of it has to do with the weather. If it gets really hot, you can get the algae bloom, but the algae bloom doesn't start on its own. It comes from something, and so we need to encourage, I think, the sugar growers and the farmers and everybody to do their part to keep from polluting the water. I mean, we cleaned up the Hudson River in New York City,
Well, and again, I think a lot of too many people are putting their eggs in one basket. This is a 100-year-old problem, and it's gotten significantly worse and worse. So we need this. Fixing this problem is going to take multiple solutions. I mean, we need to look at septic to sewer conversions,
Right.
the waterway cleanups that we run. Not just moving the water south, but more water storage to the north. There's so many things that we need to look at, and again, not just put all our eggs in one basket. And,
Right.
and you made a good point earlier. It does start at the local level, but one thing commissioners can do is we can really put more pressure on our state and federal legislatures, because
Good.
this problem is going to take more money.
Yeah, and
It's gonna take a lot of money.
we need the funding for it, that's for sure.
And
And
as we know, Governor Scott just donated how many millions of dollars that
Yes.
is going to go towards this project?
to the water
To the water
retention?
retention,
Right,
yes.
okay, that's
Absolutely.
good. Yeah, that's finally, and we gotta give a shout out to Ned Ron, our senator, who's president of the Senate, and he did a very good job getting the SB 10 bill passed,
Absolutely.
which really is, a drop in the bucket if you look at the grand scheme of things, but we gotta have a drop by drop, no pun intended.
That's a very good point.
Yeah, I mean, every bit helps, and so, where can people go to find your information? What's your website?
Butch4 for district4.com.
And that's a
That's the
4.
number 4.
And that's right, Butch, the number 4,
District
District4, .com. And that's Butch Olsen and Junior, right?
Yes.
And so, do you have a large family here?
Yes, I have a lot of cousins, and yeah.
Okay, well, they'll be voting for you for sure, right?
Absolutely. We have, and
Third generation.
So we have, just the volunteers for the fair alone. I'm getting calls every day from people saying, "Butch, what do you need?"
That's
not
great.
not just District 4, countywide. And I just, the support, I knew I was going to get a lot of support countywide, but I had no idea it was going to be this massive.
Well, good. I think, people are ready for a change probably, and we certainly had a big change in Washington, and, people are restless, and I think your point of transparency is a good one, because, we elect you, and you represent us, so why shouldn't there be a clear path of communication and ability to know what's going on? And that's, we the people,
Well, I think, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I feel like too many of our elected officials have forgotten that they work for the citizens, and I will never forget that.
That's good. That's good. Well, Stephanie Rosansky's glad you're running. She said, great show tonight, so thanks, Stephanie.
Awesome.
We know
Oh,
Stephanie.
great. Yes, we do.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And Alicia J. Hill says, you go, Melody.
Ah.
And no pressure. That's funny. I don't know. Maybe that's a private joke. And Alicia says, everyone knows each of them. So everybody knows everybody. That's what's nice. It's a small town that we have here, and we do help each other, which is nice, and I like that. So, and the fact that you have roots here going back quite a ways is wonderful. Yeah. And, okay, in 3 minutes till we're off the air, so I want to thank my guest tonight. Thanks, Joan Rogers, for coming, and don't forget her event is Ranchin for a Cause. It's this Saturday, the 17th, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., and the address is out in Palm City at 5551 Mistletoe Lane in Palm City, and it's a lot of fun, a lot of arts and crafts and auctions and face painting, and it's part of Relay for the American Cancer Society, right? Was it the Relay for Life? Thank you. Life, right.
I heard you mention the Clydesdales earlier.
Yes.
Can I just say that the
Yes.
Clydesdales are coming to Port Salerno February 22nd?
Oh, yes,
3
that's
to
right.
5.
I wanted to say that when Joan was here, but thank you for mentioning that,
Yes.
because she's having them there, but during the day, during the week, the 22nd, which is
22nd.
Thursday,
Uh-huh.
because I know because my birthday's the 21st, just saying.
Yeah.
No gifts. Anyway, the 22nd in downtown Port Salerno.
Yes.
Right, the Clydesdales will be there.
3 to 5.
And 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. So go and you can see them. That'll be fun. And I want to thank Butch Olsen Jr. for coming in tonight, and Melody Fortier and John Hennessee. Thank you for bringing us up to speed on everything going on
Thank you.
down in
Thank
our
you very much for having us.
cute little fishing village of Port Salerno. And let's tell everybody that everybody can vote for Butch.
Absolutely.
It doesn't matter if you're in District 4. And tell us where District 4 is.
District 4 is mostly Port Salerno.
Okay, mostly Port Salerno.
But if
Yes.
you're a Martin County resident, it
Right,
doesn't matter.
right.
You know,
And the election is in August.
August 28th.
August 28th. You're good on the dates, Melody. Thank you.
August
She is.
18th is the early voting.
August
Through the
18th.
25th.
Okay.
And August 28th is the actual day of voting.
Well, that's the primary election.
The primary. Well,
Primary.
we have an interesting situation here. If you win in the primary, you're in. If you
Yes.
run uncontested, you know,
Yes.
I mean, if something doesn't
Depends
happen.
on if it's what they call closed or open.
That's
which
right,
is
closed or
uncontested.
open, and that's what happened last year, or the last time around. Yeah,
Yes.
that was a little shenanigans, I think. It's a loophole in Florida election law. I'd like to see that loophole tightened up, maybe gotten rid of, because it allows somebody to be a write-in candidate the last minute.
It does.
Yeah, and that can skew things, as it did last year. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank Frank, my Valentine in the studio.
Thank you.
Happy Valentine's Day, and happy Valentine's
Yes.
Day, Richard, my husband, and happy Valentine's out there, everybody. And remember to go to the Facebook pages of my guests and like their pages, and you can follow me on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. You can find me out there and on Facebook, and my website's juliasansevere.com. And don't forget to tune in each and every week on Wednesday night, 7 to 8 p.m. for the Martin County Difference. And I'll see you live in 2 weeks. And thanks, everybody. Thanks, John, Melody, and
Thank
Butch.
you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's fun.
You guys get to be regulars here.
I like this. This is exciting. Being on the radio. It's really exciting. I love it.
Good. Well, you're good.
You gotta be good at, public speaking and stuff.
Yeah, but this is different. This is more.